How did you spend your winter this year? Believe it or not, winter is almost over and spring is right around the corner. While there were a lot of people around me complaining that the winter is too cold and too harsh, I tried my best to reconnect with the childlike side of me, enjoying walking through the beautiful snow, enjoying watching the kids play and laugh, building snowmen. In fact, on this day, I took quite a bit of care in spotting as many snow women and men and snow fairies and creatures as I could in the park. This little guy, the head had been dismantled, so I took it upon myself to place it right back on the body. And here is, I think, a snow fairy. It's got a tiara and a wand. There's creativity everywhere. This one here has a baby, like a little kangaroo. I felt like there was a lot of joy and a lot of laughter. And this booby snow lady also made me laugh. Here's the side view. I know I'm pretty immature. I do realize that the snow can bring a lot of inconveniences for people. But if we really open our eyes and try to slow down, we can see so much beauty in what the snow and winter brings. Most of us are living our lives in such a hurried, busy way and always looking forward to the next season and the next thing that we often forget to be still and to rest and to be present in the now. This is a very busy city here in New York City, but there are hidden gems everywhere. And if we look hard enough, we will see ways to slow down, enjoy, and breathe. And there were some books, 8 books in particular, that got me through the coldest month of winter. In February, I read these books. This one is 1,000 Feasts by Nigel Slater. It's by a chef and a foodie, a food columnist. He traveled the world and he jotted down observations and thoughts in his notebooks, and that made this book come to life. And what he does so beautifully is he's able to bring everyday, ordinary moments and objects into a light that makes them feel so profound and beautiful and special. And while this book is not poetry, it felt very poetic. You can read one story a day before bed. It really calms the nervous system and helps to unwind. This is a different kind of book, The Joy of Less by Francine Jay. Winter season is often associated with rest and hibernation, but as we enter the spring season, I think a book like this is great for those of you who are looking for a transformation, some change, a refresh, especially in your home, in your space. If you're looking to declutter, to organize, this is a very practical, step-by-step, encouraging book on how to clear your space to give yourself more freedom and a sense of peace. This next book is called Making the Best of What's Left by Judith Vorst, one of the best-selling authors out there. She was in her 90s when she wrote this book, and it is full of wit and wisdom. Essentially, she writes about her experience of losing her beloved husband. It's about dealing with aging, dealing with grief, but also about how to get on with life. I devoured this book, and I feel very thankful for it. The next book is by David Brooks, How to Know a Person. And it's interesting because we think we know people in our lives, but this book goes really deep on how to really see someone and to see their struggles, see them for who they are. It talks about the art of empathy and what blocks us from really seeing other people. He opens up very vulnerably about losing a dear friend to suicide and how he said all the wrong things when his friend was alive. Not so much about guilt, but about what he learned and the awareness that he gained. And he talks about either being an illuminator or a diminisher for other people. It's very enlightening. This next book is called Have a Little Faith by Mitch Albom. It's such a beautiful, heartfelt story. It's a true story about Mitch growing up Jewish and how his rabbi that he looks up to all of his childhood grows up and grows old, and then Mitch as an adult is unexpectedly asked by this rabbi to prepare his eulogy, and it sparks all these questions about religion and faith and God and Jesus and heaven and what it means to be a good person. He also befriends a Christian pastor along the way. So Mitch is able to intertwine in a very respectful and humble manner all kinds of stories about different faiths. And this is a beautiful restorative book. I also enjoy these 3 fiction books over the month of February. And while I enjoy nonfiction quite a bit, I believe that fiction lets our imagination run wild. So this one here is called Stoneyard Devotional by Charlotte Wood. It's a pretty slow and somber read. It's about a middle-aged woman who is grieving loss of her parents, walks away from her marriage and her entire life. And she decides to move in with this sort of secluded community. It's a Catholic community of nuns. And she goes in with not much faith, questions a lot about God, if God even exists. But she's grieving and she's looking for peace. And a lot of strange and unexpected things happen throughout her stay there. And the book slowly goes through the flows, the ins and outs of her day, and you kind of feel like you're watching her. There really is no satisfaction at the end of this book, I'll admit. There's no closure or happy ending. It's just like taking a peek into someone's life as they're living it. This next book is called Perfection by Vincenzo Latronico. It was translated by an Italian author. It's a very short, quick read. I read it in one day. It's about a young couple who moves to Berlin, and they live this sort of nomadic digital lifestyle. They're working remotely, enjoying their young lives. But the story quickly reveals that behind the perfectly curated photos of their lives, they're really growing bored and tired, and they eventually move to different cities throughout Europe, growing restless, searching for a feeling. Whenever they head to a new city, they're just searching. And so if you're in your mid-20s, 30s, or even 40s, this is a look into an ordinary couple's seemingly perfect life, but how they are feeling like imposters. And it's kind of relatable in some ways. And while their life creates envy and admiration by a lot of people, they're not that happy. This next book is Dinner at the Night Library by Hika Harada. It's a Japanese international bestseller that was translated. This book is a book for book lovers. If you love reading about books, bookstores, or libraries, this is the one for you. The main character leaves her job at a chain bookstore. She takes on a new job at this mysterious night library, and it's a really slow, kind of warm read. In the beginning, I wasn't sure if I was going to finish this book, but I'm glad I stuck with it. There are a lot of quirky, misfit characters throughout the story, and it's full of surprises. Whether you found yourself extra busy and active this winter season, or whether you were resting and hibernating and staying cozy, I hope that spring will bring something new and fresh and exciting, perhaps a new adventure, a new chapter, a different mindset, some change, positive change. I wish you all well. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye-bye.